This has just been a good summer for Sakuga.
Yeah, it has been. Well, I guess we might as well just go ahead and pivot right the fuck on in to God of High School then, cause that they're not slowing down.
Nope.
They are not slowing down, and I don't know. Is this like hype the embodiment of like hype the anime? Like I don't know what's gonna happen because I'm already so pleased with what I'm getting. So I'm just like, is it gonna get better than this?
Well, one of the illest things about God of High School is that basically it skips a lot of the boring stuff that is
Yes.
in your typical shonen. Like you gotta think about it. The whole show starts in with a tournament. Normally you gotta go through a whole get to know you, gather the team arc first, and they're like, nah, forget that. We're just gonna throw them all in, see what happens. All the fodder guys get taken out basically off camera, and within 3 episodes, they've already blanked one final boss type character. They've introduced like 3 different power systems. The main characters already had a power up. Like,
yes.
like they don't waste any time.
That was the thing that kind of got me where I was like, wait a second. We're getting a power up already. I don't even know what the nigga can do in the first place. He's getting a power up? Like, what's happening? Also, what did blonde hair do to him? I want to see their fight, their original fight, for his like qualifying thing to be in the tournament. I want to know how Blondie beat his ass. Not to say that I'm not pleased with it. I'm loving every fucking moment. I love Daewi's backstory. Fucking love it to death. And it's all making sense. Everything makes sense. Everyone has their motivations for why they're being there, and it's quick to the point and gorgeous.
Yeah, the animation is great. I know I'm still a proponent of the opening theme. I know that it's not to your taste, but I think that it does set like a very like cool but energetic tone for the whole show. It is well paced, but normally when we're saying that, it's in terms of like delivering story, whereas for this it's well paced because there's plenty of action and it's easy to follow that side of things. Obviously, the world building has been kept pretty much to a minimum so far. We did sort of learn a little bit more about there's a secret organization, and clearly they've got nefarious ends for the world. It hasn't yet been made clear where the executives behind the tournament stand in this. You have the either cursed or sacred fruit that has been introduced. There was a really interesting scene in the very, very beginning of the 3rd episode where you go through the gallery of all the various gods, sort of right before you're shown this cult meeting. And there's a lot, much like in the very first episode, that's being teased that because of the pacing of this show, you will get answers. I think that's the thing that is most satisfying about the show, aside from the glorious combat animation and the cool characters, is that they actually do move fast enough to like answer a question you might have had in your head from a couple episodes back. You're not going to be waiting 6 years to find out what's in the basement. Like you're gonna get answers relatively quickly, and then move on to the next thing.
I already have a hypothesis. Just from what he said at the very end of the episode, where he said that he wanted a banana. But
they're very on the nose with quite a bit of the characterization, but I would also say there are probably some surprises there and interesting takes on things. I mean, it's worth noting that the Journey to the West fable transcends through a lot of Asian cultures in different ways. So what we might be familiar with are the adaptations that we've seen before, whether it's Dragon Ball or whether it is just literal recitation of those stories, doesn't actually encompass the full range of, how folks have gotten creative with it over the literally hundreds and thousands of years that it's been told. So I would say take the visual cues for what they are, but it's not as on the nose as you might think. And as we already saw in episode 3, you can go from a martial arts anime to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in about 5 frames. So
yeah,
there's cool stuff in there.
Didn't see the supernatural shit coming at all. I'm excited. Now we're in Stan territory, and I want to see everyone's stands immediately. I want to see them. I want to know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm hooked. I'm like dead set watching it. Period. End of story. I've been telling people, I'm like, you need to start watching this now before it like blows the fuck up. Because I was like, I'm pretty positive this is gonna blow up like insanely. Like once the season is over with, someone's gonna put together like a compilation of all the fight scenes on YouTube, and then people are gonna be like, "What is this? What's going on? What is this?" Oh.
There's no question that between this one and ReZero, there'll probably be a duel for, show of the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if we now will have 2 seasons in a row where a manhwa adaptation was the hands down winner. I would not be shocked.
You know what? I wouldn't be either. I know. Ugh. I'm excited. I feel like it's probably gonna be Demon Slayer vibes, where like episode 19 of Demon Slayer dropped, and all of a sudden everyone was like, "What is this from?" And people were like, "This has been airing. Where the fuck have you been? Like, we've gotten good shit from this all season." But I feel like there's gonna be an episode or there's gonna be a scene like that, and that shit's gonna get uploaded to the internet, and it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over.
Yeah, I don't want to be like a hype machine, but there are gonna be some sickening sequences coming up. So we'll see.
I can only imagine. Like the day we fight, I legit was just like, it was one thing for like him throwing the punches and like the spears, but they had actual hand-to-hand combat fight choreography, and I was like, I love this. Like I can see the movements, I can see the counter, I can see all of it.
So it's quite a bit of it was actually rotoscoped. Have you checked out the Crunchyroll interview and behind the scenes I think episode 2 and episode 3?
List. Okay. I have it on my watch list. I haven't fucking seen it yet. Did you watch it?
Yeah. So without spoiling it for anyone who's interested and wants to watch it themselves, large parts of some of these fight scenes are in fact partially rotoscoped or digitally rotoscoped, but they're not necessarily contiguous sections. So like where bodies are turning or kicks and punches are being thrown, they'll actually have an actor or 2 actors doing those moves, and then they'll use CGI to sort of create the body form and the motion, do some animation over that. And then there are other times when it's just hand animated. Some of the shots come directly out of the manhwa panel that they're directly adapted from, and it's not, and as I said, because it's not all contiguous, they mix them together in interesting ways. And I think that it's a treat no matter what level you're coming into the series, whether you are a reader and you're looking to see how they adapt stuff, because they've added plenty of sort of interstitial movement and frames and other things to sort of really flesh out that combat anyway. And the stuff that you wanted to see that's pretty iconic is there too. The thing I'm waiting for is at some point they're going to have to do like a close-up for the renewal style taekwondo, and when you see that, like they've teased you a little bit, there were some aerial maneuvers that Mori did in I think the 2nd episode, but it's really, really cool. And as someone who actually did taekwondo for many years, while it's definitely like fantastical, there's just stuff in there that's very grounded, like watching someone plant their foot in the right way and do like and turn it in that, watching the hips of the character model turn over to do a kick in a very realistic way is cool. So I am nothing but overjoyed to watch this season as it drops, and every episode is like a little gift. There's stuff in there for everybody.